All right, today we're going to talk about something that's quietly changing the game in chemistry and drug discovery. It's a powerful open-source toolkit called RDKit.
So I want you to imagine something. Picture a library, but instead of books, it's packed with millions, heck, even billions of different chemical compounds. Now, how on earth would you find the one you're looking for, the one with the exact properties you need? And this isn't just some hypothetical, right? This is the reality scientists face every single day.
So, to tackle a problem this massive, you need a special kind of toolset. And that's where a field called Cheminformatics comes in. You can think of it as the perfect bridge, really, between chemistry and computer science. It's all about using code to make sense of this crazy complex molecular world.
All right, so at the very heart of all this is a tool called RDKit. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like the ultimate Swiss Army knife for chemists and data scientists. It's incredibly powerful, super versatile, and here's the best part. It's open source. That means it's totally free for anyone anywhere to use and even improve upon.
Okay, so you might be wondering, how does a piece of software, a computer program, even begin to understand something as complex as a 3D molecule? Well, it all comes down to translation. See, before a computer can do anything cool like draw a molecule or predict how it'll behave, it needs a description it can actually process. It can't just look at a picture like we can. It needs a specific language, a way to read the structure.
And here it is. This is that language. This little string of letters might not look like much, but it's called a SMILES string. And it's a totally brilliant, super simple way to write down a molecule's structure. The C's, those are carbon atoms. The O, that's an oxygen. And the order they're in tells the computer exactly how they're all connected. This specific one here represents diethyl ether. All that information packed into one simple line of text that RDKit can read in a heartbeat.
And this is where the magic really happens. RDKit grabs that simple text string and boom, in a blink of an eye, it translates it back into the 2D chemical structure that scientists are used to seeing. This is like the fundamental first step for pretty much everything else you'd want to do.
But RDKit isn't just a one-trick pony. It can give you both 2D and 3D models. That 2D version is kind of like a flat blueprint, right? It's awesome for quick analysis, for searching through databases. But then it can also figure out the molecule's full 3D shape, its conformation. And that is absolutely crucial because that tells you how the molecule will actually behave and interact in the real world. It's the classic key in a lock analogy, how a drug molecule physically fits into a protein in your body.
Okay, so now that the computer understands the molecule, you can start asking it questions. And one of the most common questions you might ask is something like, hey, does my big, complicated molecule have this one specific little feature inside of it?
And RDKit has the perfect tool for that. It's called substructure searching. Honestly, just think of it like hitting Control F or Command F for chemistry. A scientist gives it a big target molecule, tells it the exact little pattern to look for, and RDKit just scans the whole thing and highlights every single spot where it finds a match. It's a totally fundamental tool for this kind of work.
So yeah, describing molecules is super important. But where RDKit really shines, where the real power kicks in, is when it starts predicting how those molecules are going to behave. This is where we go from just analyzing to making actual discoveries.
But there's a huge challenge here: speed. I mean, comparing the full 3D shapes of millions of molecules would take forever. It's just too slow. So to get around this, RDKit does something really clever. It creates what's called a molecular fingerprint. It's basically a compact digital signature, just a long string of ones and zeros that captures a molecule's most important features. This makes comparisons lightning fast.
And here's a perfect example of that in action. Let's say a scientist is interested in the molecule alprazolam. They use it as a search query. Using those fingerprints we just talked about, RDKit can instantly scan a massive database and pull out the most similar molecules. And look at this table. It ranks them by a similarity score. Right at the top, you see triazolam and estazolam top up as super close matches. This is such a powerful way to zero in on potential new drug candidates.
But we can take prediction even further. RDKit can calculate hundreds of different numbers for any molecule you give it. These are called molecular descriptors, and they describe everything from simple stuff like molecular weight to really complex things like how electrical charge is distributed across the molecule. And all these numbers? That's the language that machine learning models speak.
And what's really cool is that RDKit isn't just about generating the data. It actually has its own machine learning toolkit built right in. You've got models like decision trees, random forests, the whole shebang. So scientists can use these tools to build models that predict all sorts of things. Like, is this molecule going to be toxic? Will it dissolve in water? Does it have potential as a drug? And they can do all of this before anyone even steps foot in a lab to make it. You can imagine how much time and money that saves.
Okay, so let's pull back for a second. We've been in the weeds with the technical stuff, but what's the big picture here? What's the real-world impact? Why does a tool like RDKit actually matter?
Well, the impact it's just immense. Because RDKit makes these powerful tools available to everyone, it just accelerates research everywhere. It makes the hunt for new medicines faster, it helps scientists design brand new materials, and because it's open source, it's not just for big pharma. It's for university labs, for startups, for everyone. It really helps create this global, collaborative scientific community.
I love this quote. It comes right from the developers, and it perfectly captures the philosophy behind RDKit's success. Their attitude was basically, hey, if someone has already built a great wheel, let's just use that wheel instead of reinventing it. So instead of building everything from the ground up, they focused on using solid, well-tested components. It's just a super practical approach that means the tool is reliable and performs well, so scientists can actually trust it and just get on with their research.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought. RDKit is an amazing example of a powerful, open-source tool for science. But it's not the only one. So as these kinds of toolkits get even better, even more accessible to everyone, you just have to wonder, right? What incredible breakthroughs in medicine, in materials, in all kinds of technology are just waiting around the corner ready for someone to unlock them? Thanks for joining me.